Ayurvedic doctor, and we've been doing this since 1987. We're very proud to say that we pioneered the awareness of Ayurveda in this country. And I was very privileged to have a wife who was an Ayurvedic medicine, because I was always interested in complementary medicines and integrating complementary medicine in the mainstream general practice. So just a brief background for you, where I'm coming from. And we love people, we need connecting with people. My philosophy, the reason why I liked complementary medicine and holistic approach is, in modern medicine, as you know, it's too formal, it's too unnatural, and it doesn't allow the doctor to connect with the patient properly or with the people. So this has been my campaign for 25 years. And I was a tutor for medical students at the Brighton Medical College, and my main remit was to set up workshops for medical students and doctors to come together with the complementary medicine practitioners and to look at the commonalities and how to bring in that holistic approach into that. So that's my background. Asmita is a trained, qualified Ayurvedic doctor from Jamnagar University, which is one of the top universities in India. We both qualified at the same time in 78, 79, and we met before that. And that's how I used to go to the Ayurvedic hospital. And that's why I did a personal study on that. And it's been a passion ever since. I've been talking with Camexpo since they started. I think it was about 2000, 2001. I haven't been for the last 3 years, so it's lovely to be back. Okay, so we're going to talk about using Ayurvedic medicine to prevent and treat chronic disease. I'm going to skip all the Vata, Pitta, Kapha, Dosha, because in the West, that's made it too superficial. Hopefully what I'm going to do is try and share with you a slightly deeper aspect of Ayurveda. And we're going to try and integrate and combine it with our modern medicine, our modern knowledge, because the technology is advanced. I'm sure most of you will now be more well-informed, better educated with the internet and looking into research. And there's been an enormous amount of research, as you know, on the Ayurvedic herbs in the last 10 years. But I'm very proud to say we promoted the awareness. There you are. Now, I've got two slides there. There is Lord Dhanvantari. He's supposed to be the god of Ayurveda. All the purists of Ayurvedic practitioners in India will worship him before starting treatment. I wish we could worship in the surgery in the mornings. I say, whatever your religion, it doesn't matter. Just say, oh God, help me to help others. Is that lovely prayer? So that's what it is about. Every word I say will be hopefully related to building that inner, and the inner feeling of goodness and goodwill. So that's my wife Asmita from the Ayurvedic Clinic, and I always acknowledge that because she is my prime motivator, always has been, my inspirer. Yeah, that's it, the feminine energy. People forget that. That is, according to the Indian mythology and science, this one was created by Ma Durga, the feminine power. Okay, so we must never forget that. There you go. So let's start. We're going to look at chronic disease. But I always say to my colleagues, why don't we look at health first? We're so programmed to think of illness and disease, aren't we? People here will come home. Have you got something for diabetes? Have you got something for anxiety? Have you got something for arthritis? That's the question I hear. And I say, why don't you ask me, have you got something to make me feel really good? I'm healthy, but I want to maintain that. I very rarely hear that. Does that ring a bell with you? Can I ask, how many of you are therapists? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can I just go around and say, what do you do? Naturopath. And is that? Have you? Lovely. Fantastic. Can you say? Sorry? Oh, sorry, I haven't got a mic here, otherwise. But do you want to shout out loud? Reflexology and Ayurvedic medicine. Sorry? Reflexology and Mama, we've got a naturopath here, and therapists? Do you want to shout? Nutritional therapists? Have we got Yogini, acupuncture? I've got some of my friends supporting me here, which is very nice to see them. We've got Yogini, we've got Kunji Patel, who runs the breast cancer charity for Asian women, and they're bringing awareness there. And we've got my old 4 ginger boys from East Africa. We've grown up together, and they're all businessmen, and they've come to see how I can improve their health. So I'm going to try my best. So there you go. Okay. So what is the definition of health? 1 second. I've misplaced a slide. I'm just going to, because I wanted to bring up this particular slide. There are lots of slides, but this is the one I am looking for. Now, what's your definition of good health? In short, my friend here sent me a very nice text the other day on Sanskrit, the fantastic book. And all of us, we are all into Indian Sanskrit and Vedas and things like all of us. Send me a text about the fantastic facts about Sanskrit. The Sanskrit language is the original language of the world. A lot of people are now recognizing that. Came from that. It has got this power of expressing so much in a short few words. And that summarizes it. A happy soul is a healthy body. So everything I say today about treating and preventing illness will all revolve, and this is the statement that underpins it, revolve around this. That if we can all aim to be happy inside, isn't it strange? When the politicians start talking about happiness, like they started conducting a survey, how happy is Britain as a nation? Are we really at the bottom of the list? And we're going to talk about UK, okay? And so, let me go back to I've got lots to talk to you, and as you can see, I'm very passionate about it, so I might just shout if you want me to slow down, okay? Yeah, so I'm going to, when you go out here, I want you to feel so inspired and full of energy and passion about Ayurveda, okay? So there we are. Now, this is it, Ayurvedic definition of perfect health. In Chanak is Samadosha, Samadhatu, Samagni, Malakriye. This is the mantra which I think everyone in the world should, become aware of and familiar with, and they should chant this, because it, in a short few words, it tells you in a summary what we should be focusing on in our daily lives. And I'll explain to you as I go along. Very simple. We're trying to make it simple, keep it simple. In Britain, we've run sort of management courses for years and years with the KISS principle. Keep it simple and straightforward. And now look where we are. We've complicated everything. So we're going to simplify everything again, okay? Samadosha, Samadhatu, Samagni, Malakriye. Prasanna Atmendriya Manaha Swasthya Iti Abhidhiyate. It's a beautiful shloka. Samadosha means a well-balanced physiology in the body. So I'm going to interpret it in our modern understanding of the body. Okay, Samadosha, the doshas are the three physiological energies, the Vata, Pitta and Kapha, who everybody's heard about, but that's where the understanding ends. And we go deeper for therapists and okay? So the doshas are an imbalance. The body type is Prakriti. The whole West has got it wrong. People have promoted this idea that a dosha is a body type. Okay? Dosha does not mean body type. Dosha means imbalance. So the aim of therapy and treatment in Ayurveda is to rebalance the doshas, the imbalance, the physiology. Okay? And what underpins that is to learn how to identify your body type, your prakriti, your natural blueprint of who you are. That runs into these three categories of the nervous energy, the fiery energy, and the watery and earthy energy. And that relates, that was the Sanskrit language to go right down to where we have come from. Where does this body build itself from? From the five elements. Which, we don't, how many of you understand, how many of us understand this body, who we are? Yeah? We don't know who we are. We don't know how it was formed. We don't even know 2% of, the eyes. If you see the complex construction of the eye, somebody's just quoted it. It is difficult to think that it wasn't created by an intelligence. Do you see what I'm saying? So we'll throw in these snippets in there, okay? So dosha, Agni. Most people forget the concept of Agni. The concept of Agni lies at the center of treatment and therapy of Ayurveda. And you will only get taught that when you actually train with the Ayurvedic courses. The whole body, if you maintain your Agni, which is the fire of digestion, the fire of immunity, and the fire of intelligence, these are the three things. Fire of digestion, fire of hormone metabolism, and the fire of intelligence. Okay? This is the depth. So that brings it into a holism. Yeah? And so if that is strong, we all know that if our digestion is strong, nutritionists will tell us, naturopaths will tell us, if your digestion is strong, then your body will be healthy. It will fight disease. You'll be healthy, basically, isn't it? And now they're saying that most diseases start in the gut, don't they? Ayurveda said that 7,000 years ago. Okay? So, malakriya, good excretion, bowels. You know, if you need a good daily movement to evacuate the bowels, to clean it, if stuff stays there, then it starts fermenting, causing bacteria and things, and that gets absorbed, the toxins get absorbed, and that's what starts. Okay, some of those about malakriya. And then say, prasanna atmendriya mana swasthya iti avidya. A happy soul is derived by being in equilibrium with our senses, using our senses reasonably, with well-controlled, well-disciplined use of our senses. Yeah, atmendriya mana, the contact of the soul and the senses and the mind, that should be wholesome. Right? And I'm saying this is the bit. If we get this right, then every therapy will be centered on this, and you will treat any chronic disease. Do you see what I'm trying to do? We must first have a strong grounding. If the foundation is strong and we build on these principles, we can treat any chronic disease, and we use those philosophies. Okay? So a happy soul is a healthy body. There you are. That's a good question for you. I'm not suggesting that the NHS is an ass or a donkey, but I could, because they're completely making a mess of our National Health Service. Okay? That's why I put that photo up. We're all spectators wondering, have we got an ideal health service? It's completely complex. I won't go into details of that, otherwise we'll go into another direction. So, what is the purpose of Ayurveda? What do they describe? An ideal health service for the community, for the individuals. And they said that ideal health service is which makes sure that whatever healthcare it delivers is for the welfare of the person, the individual, and the community, and the society, and further beyond, it should help the world. Now, if you see, look at the nice guidelines on this. This is what they are saying. The WHO is saying that, and they have now recognized Ayurveda as the medicine of the world, which is going to transform the healthcare in the world. You can go and access the WHO and see that for yourself. So the idea of Ayurveda is to help maintain well-being of the healthy and to relieve the misery of the ill. Okay? So let's look at that. Universal health, that is a shloka in Ayurveda. The texts where they start, you know, it's a science with no beginning and no end. It's said to have come from Brahma, who created this creation, a divine, all-encompassing science, promoting universal well-being for everyone. There's no inequality of health. That's the key. Look at the inequality of health these days. So just imagine those ancient sages gave us this wisdom and the wise advice at that time. Okay? So worth a life student. So this was I did a presentation to the doctors at the postgrad center. I also present and try and promote the holistic approach and get them to heal themselves. Physician, heal thyself. Now, we are at loggerheads at the moment. What are we at loggerheads with? The big four. Yeah? The heart disease, high blood pressure, stroke, that's all one. Cardiovascular disease, the big thing, isn't it, on the rise. For middle-aged men or men between the age of 40 and 50, the risk has gone threefold for cardiovascular disease. And they say it's due to smoking, alcohol, which we know, lack of exercise, and stress. For how long have we all been saying that, the enlightened souls like us? There are many of us out there who say them. Who listens to us? We should have all the politicians in here, shouldn't we? Yeah? And I have had them in some of my talks, and I have talked boldly. But there you go. Okay, so those are the four, which I think we will try and address those, and what does Ayurveda offer for that? Alright? Because that usually covers, the diabetes is a big one, particularly the Asian community and the other ethnic minorities, but also among the Caucasians and the Europeans. That's increasing. Cancer, as we know, it's rising, the incidence is rising. I think it's due to pollution and the poor nutrition in the food and the way we live. You know, one of the things which Ayurveda emphasizes is our thinking, our emotions. We have got contaminated, polluted thinking. That's what we've developed. Yeah? Because our actions depend on our thoughts. And if our thoughts become, you know, polluted, contaminated, then our actions become polluted. That's what leads to disease. Okay, and dementia, memory loss.